The real estate process continued. We have the contract of sale, and I'm going to look at the portion of the process from contract to closing, and we're at the mortgage stage. And I'm going to be detailing information from the perspective of the purchaser. So the buyer has to apply for a mortgage. Buyer has to go to a institutional lender or a mortgage banker or a mortgage broker to secure a mortgage. What has to happen is that there's an application that has to be filled out, and that's financial information, bank accounts, job status, tax returns, that process. And the bank has to obtain a licensed appraiser, and the property will be appraised. Now, a traditional mortgage is where a borrower attempts to borrow 80% of the purchase price. So if you're buying I'll make it simple, $100,000 house in your dreams, and you'd put down $20,000, probably $10,000 on contract, the balance $10,000 or so at closing, and you'd borrow $80,000. Now, just because the bank is going to give you $80,000 and give you a mortgage based on $80,000, it doesn't mean that you're going to receive $80,000 in your hands. It's going to be $80,000 less startup of escrows and some bank fees. So a bank may give you 78, 77, 70, let's 77.5, so 78,000. You have to pay back your mortgage on 80, but at the closing you will only receive like 78,000. 2,000 will go toward your own expenses, the borrower's expenses, the startup of escrows, and maybe some fees for the bank. And there'll be some per diem mortgage interest. Right? We could go over those things at a later time. So that's why I say about 10,000 has to be brought to the closing, because you have to bring the balance of the down payment plus any shortfall you may have in order to arrive at the full purchase price to pay the seller. What else can I tell you? If you get declined for a mortgage, we ask the bank to present to us a declination letter. With that letter, we present that to the seller, and we'll get the down payment back. At least typically, right? There's typically a mortgage contingency clause in the contract. So I want to end this now. If you have any questions about real estate, reach out to me, frankbrunolaw.com.